All right, here's example 3.5 from OpenStax PreCalculus. Again, I want to do this example because I solve this problem a little bit differently than your book does. Nothing against the way your book does it. Your book is 100% correct. I just feel like if I were to memorize this formula for this is how you multiply complex numbers, I'd screw it up. Instead of doing AC minus BD, I'd do AD minus BC, or I'd make this one a plus and this one a minus, or somehow I'd screw it up. I find a way of screwing things up. I can't memorize that much stuff. I'd make a mistake. So rather than invent a new way to do this, give you a formula for how to multiply complex numbers, I think it's a hell of a lot easier to take advantage of stuff you already know. If you were multiplying two binomials, if this were 4 plus 3x and 2 minus 5x, you could do that. And so I'm going to take advantage of the fact that you know how to multiply the two of these guys if we could just treat this I like it were a variable, like it were an x. And in fact, you can. All we're going to do is treat I like x. And maybe that needs to be in quotation marks. I just mean treat it like it's a variable, like you've always been doing. And then keep in mind that I squared is -1. It's kind of where this I thing came from, is we said the square root of -1 equals I. And if you square both sides of the equation, you get this fact. If you can remember these two things, you don't got to remember any of this stuff down here. Let me show you how. I got 4 plus 3i times, I don't know why I'm rewriting the problem, but I've come this far. I'm pot committed at this point. 4 plus 3i times 2 minus 5i. If you were multiplying these guys together and you were just treating the i's like variables, well, I guess you'd FOIL. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times -5i. It'd be nice if that were just -20i, right? If this were an x, that's what it would be, because 4 times -5x is -20x. And in fact, it is, because I'm going to treat my i's like they're x's. 3i times 2 be 6i, I guess. And 3i times -5i, well, again, if those were x's, you'd take the 3 and the -5 and you'd multiply those coefficients together, and then you'd say I times I is I squared. That's exactly what we're going to do here to get to this stage. And I guess you could combine like terms, because you're like, no reason to write -20i plus 6i when we all know that's just -14i. At least it would be if we could treat the i's just like they were x's. And again, I refer you to this. So I'm done? No, because this is not standard form. I mean, it's not standard form because it don't look like this, but furthermore, standard form is a plus bi, and this is a plus bi plus ci squared. Oh, that's bad. I'm not supposed to have I squared in my answer. Yeah, I squared equals -1. Now we take advantage of this fact. We say, okay, this is 8 minus 14i minus 15 times, and then instead of writing I squared, since I squared is -1, I can say -15 times -1. So really what I have here is 8 minus 14i plus 15. Almost done, although I guess I could combine like terms again. 8 plus 15 is really 23. So I get 23 minus 14i, which is the same answer they got here, but in my mind it's a hell of a lot easier. Doesn't rely on as much memorization, which I like to avoid whenever possible.